Welcome, everyone, to this explainer on the For the Wise podcast. If you enjoy unpacking the deep, sometimes hidden mechanics of human nature, you are in exactly the right place. Make sure to hit like, leave a comment, share this with a friend, and subscribe for more deep dives just like this one. It's getting late, the world's finally quieted down, and I've got my co-pilot, Hakeem the Owl, sitting right here next to me, all bundled up in his mustard scarf, absolutely ready to keep us company. Tonight, we're getting into something incredibly intimate and honestly, universally human. We're looking at the architecture of familiar pain. All right, let's just dive right in. Why do we choose a pain we know over a possibility we don't? Man, it is a heavy question, isn't it? But listen, we are not framing this as some sort of personal failing tonight. We're not calling it weakness or cowardice. This is a shared human mystery. It touches something so incredibly real in all of us, and we are going to unravel it together. Because trust me, it goes way, way deeper than just having bad habits. What's really fascinating here is just how completely relatable these traps are. I mean, staying in toxic relationships, dragging ourselves to dead-end jobs every day, repeating destructive habits, or just unconsciously sabotaging perfectly good growth opportunities. We have all been here, or we definitely know someone who's camped out here right now. To figure out why we actually stay stuck in these loops, we need to peel back the layers of the psyche, kind of like an onion.
So that brings us to layer 1, the biology of certainty, or as I like to think of it, the nervous system's map.
To really wrap our heads around this, it helps to think of your nervous system as this extremely overprotective helicopter parent. Its one and only job is to keep you alive. On one side, you have familiar pain. Now, even if it's completely miserable, it comes with a map. You know the emotional weather, you know the timing, you know exactly where the exits are. But on the other side, the unknown. Sure, it offers possibility, but it also brings massive uncertainty, a total loss of control, and potential failure. We aren't actually built to chase happiness first, we're built to avoid danger first. So to the brain, a miserable predictability feels much, much safer than an unmapped possibility.
Familiar pain has been survived. Let that profound realization just sink in for a second. That right there is its primary advantage. You see, the psyche treats survival as the ultimate highest data point possible. What you have already endured is the exact proof your anxious mind craves. It essentially says, hey, I survived this before, I can totally survive it again. The unknown simply doesn't give you that solid proof.
So the crucial point to take away here is that certainty itself is a resource, even if it is a deeply negative certainty. When you know the shape of your suffering, you know exactly how to organize your life around it. You know what parts of yourself to protect, what to suppress, and exactly when to brace for impact. Familiar pain is essentially metabolically cheap because you already know its rhythms inside and out. But the unknown? It doesn't permit that kind of economy. The unknown demands exhausting full-body exposure and presence. All right, moving deeper. Layer 2, when pain becomes identity, the trap of the familiar. Things get really deep here, and honestly, a little spooky. I can literally see Hakeem hiding behind his wings over here. Because over time, chronic pain stops being just something you tolerate. It actually becomes your identity. The mind starts whispering these terrifying questions like, if I leave this suffering behind, what replaces it? Losing that familiar pain can terrify you into feeling less like relief and way more like a complete dissolution of who you are. It is the fear of selflessness in the most literal sense of the word. And this builds into what we call the hidden payoffs. These are these super sneaky, darker survival features of the psyche. Think about it. Familiar pain protects you from risk. It gives you a great excuse for inaction. It helps preserve old loyalties and totally avoids the heavy responsibility that comes with freedom. Because let's be real, freedom sounds incredibly romantic until it suddenly hands you accountability. Humans can adapt to almost anything, and eventually, a cage with a predictable daily routine really can start feeling like home. Which leads us to layer 3, the threat of hope and navigating social gravity. As we zoom out and look at external factors, we really have to acknowledge that following that crimson thread of healing requires this terrifying vulnerability to actually hope for something better. Choosing the unknown means choosing hope. To pursue something better, you have to genuinely believe better exists for you. And wow, that exposes you to the possibility of being completely wrong, of proving the wound right all along. Pursuing the unknown means risking a crushing disappointment. And for so many people, a disappointment they can't predict is just much harder to survive than their comfortable, predictable misery.
And of course, we don't suffer in a vacuum, right? Our pain is so often tied up in social gravity. It's embedded in our roles, our obligations, our loyalties to family and friends. Your pain might actually become load-bearing for other people's sense of the world.
So when you finally try to leave the cage, the people around you might react really poorly. Self-rescue can suddenly look and feel an awful lot like betrayal. You run the very real risk of being seen as the one who just gave up on them.
Finally, we reach layer 4, charting the unknown. Let's talk about a gentle exit strategy.
All right, let's take a collective breath here. We are pivoting away from the heavy philosophy now and getting practical. First things first, go ahead and discard that be fearless motivational wallpaper. It's basically toxic positivity. Healing doesn't have to be this violent tearing away from your old life. But the cruel joke of it all is that the doorway to healing, love, and meaning usually feels emotionally unsafe at first. Growth rarely feels like relief in the beginning. It hands you accountability, and honestly, it just feels like total disorientation. So please don't expect it to feel good right away.
So instead of taking these massive, fearless leaps into the void, we take gentle steps. Step 1, make the unknown smaller. Step 2, take reversible risks. Little things you can undo if you need to. Step 3, gradually expand your tolerance for uncertainty. And step 4, slowly build evidence that you can in fact survive familiar territory. We absolutely do not need to blow up our lives overnight. We just need to slowly, gently follow the lifeline out of the old map, building a brand new database of survival for that overprotective nervous system of ours.
I really want to leave you with this incredibly grounding thought. Sometimes anxiety is just the nervous system watching you leave the old map behind. We have got to stop interpreting our anxiety as absolute proof that we're making the wrong move. Think of it like a modern analogy. Your anxiety is literally just your internal GPS frantically recalculating the route because you took a new turn. Yes, it's loud, yes, it's annoying, but it just means you are finally headed somewhere new. Thank you all so much for hanging out late night with me and Hakeem the Owl on this Explainer for the Wise podcast. We absolutely love breaking down these big human mysteries with you. Before you log off tonight, I want you to ask yourself, what familiar cage in your own life are you finally ready to leave behind? If this sparked something for you, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe so we can keep bringing you these deep dives. Until next time, be gentle with your nervous system and just take it one small step into the unknown at a time. Good night, everyone.